Kia ora from the garden. Well, I'm just here. Behind me is our asparagus patch. Now, we've had these in for about 6 or 7 years, and I've read that asparagus plants will last about 20 years. So hopefully they carry on, going for a long time yet. So now that they've gone brown like that, so at the end of the season, we let them go to fern around kind of early December, mid-December, so that they just turn into green ferns, and now they've browned off like this here. So I just come through and I just cut them at the base and lay them over, and they turn into some mulch. So then I'll be adding some other, I've got some pruning to do with our trees, so I'll add a little bit of wood chip mulch on it, and some wood ash over winter time. So we're emptying our fireplace, every few days or so. So I'll be couple of buckets of that onto it as well, and that just kind of helps, put a bit of nutrients back into the soil. And yeah, so I'm just going to cut these over now. I'll cut them now. So I use these things here with a bit of rope around it, just to kind of hold the ferns in. Otherwise they're kind of leaning all over the place. But quite simply, you just come in here with the secateurs like that there, chop them off at the bottom. Just like that there, and I just lay it over. So I just carry on doing that. Just going to squash that down. Yeah, so usually around middle of winter, maybe towards springtime, some nurseries, they'll start to sell the asparagus crowns. They're just like a little root ball, and on the packet themselves they have some instructions, like you dig a little furrow, you put the crowns in there, and you kind of bury them over. And we kind of follow the instructions. I think I might have watched someone on YouTube, and they said just let them grow to fern for the first couple of years, like don't eat them. So that's what we did. So I think it was maybe 2, probably maybe even 3 years. We just let them grow, because that helps them develop a stronger root ball. So then it kind of sets them up well for longer term growth, and it seems to work out well, because we get loads of asparagus from this little patch here. It's only just over 2 meters by 2 meters square. So yeah, if you're thinking of growing some asparagus, just wait for your local nursery, or you could go in there and make an inquiry about when do they think they'll be getting some asparagus plants in. They're little root, little clusters of roots, and you might, maybe give somebody there your name, so that they can give you a phone call or something like that when they come in, and yeah, pop them in the ground. Now, take note that they've said to last about 20 plus years. So where you put them now is probably where you want them to be. So they're not something that you want to be digging up every year and moving somewhere else. So so just give it a little bit of thought. Obviously, if you sell the house and you move away, or you rent somewhere else, well, you could dig them up then. But if you've got no plans of going anywhere for the next 3 to 5 years, that's probably a good place to put them. So anyway, I'll carry on chopping this down, and then I'll throw a bit of wood ash over it, and then when I mow the lawn, I'll throw a sprinkle of grass clippings, a little bit of wood chips from some pruning I've got to do, and yeah, any other leaf mulch and stuff like that I can find. I'll just spread it over it, just to feed the soil, and give the roots and the worms and all the microbes things to eat and digest and all that. And as they go about their normal lives, they they excrete enzymes and different nutrients that the roots can kind of feed on, and all the microbes in the soil, just to enrich the soil in general. So you just add a whole lot of stuff on there. If I'm keen, I might even bring back a little bit of seaweed and throw that on there. But anyway, I'll carry on doing this, and then it'll be all good to go. Learning.